Hi, I'm Steve Vesterli, and this is Beneficial Intelligence, a new weekly podcast with stories and pragmatic information for CIOs and other IT leaders. This week, wasting money. The business is always complaining that IT costs too much, and they might have a point. We are really expensive. Surveys show that we're on track to reach $4 trillion of IT spending globally this year. And at least 25% of that is wasted. That means we're wasting $1 trillion. That's a 1 with 12 zeros after it. Now, how do we waste all that money? Well, we do it with the stuff we're running and with the stuff we're building. Let's start with the stuff we're running. If you have a system that provides more business value than what it costs you to run it, then keep running it. But if you have systems where the usage has dropped so low that it's not really providing business value commensurate with the cost of running it, then you need to retire it. The problem is that most organizations don't really keep very good track of which systems they're running. So what you need is to look at the usage figures, look at who's using the system, how often is the system used, so you can find out which ones to retire. If you have badly instrumented systems that don't give you any information about what the system is used for, then build some instrumentation in if you still have some programmers who can maintain the code. If you have really old systems where you can't even change it, or you don't dare touch the old mainframe, then you might need to get your network people to have a look at how much this application is being accessed. So you can stop wasting money by retiring systems that are actually not used. Another way we're wasting money, which is brand new, is by moving stuff into the cloud. So it always sounds good. The vendors have all these calculations saying, look how much money you will save when you move stuff to the cloud. The problem is that in the entire time that we've had cloud, it has never ever happened that a lift and shift project where you move something to the cloud has cost less than expected. It always costs more. It costs 25% more, 50% more, 100% more, 200% more. You see it all the time. And the reason this happens is because in cloud, you're being charged for every little thing. You're being charged for CPU cycles, you're being charged for storage, you're being charged for memory, you're being charged for messages passed, network traffic, API calls, a gazillion things. Nobody has a clue what it's going to cost. That's why, to stop wasting money, don't lift and shift anything into the cloud unless you have a really, really, really good use case and your business case is really solid, showing a huge saving. Because your saving is only going to be half of what you think it is. So don't waste money by moving things to the cloud. So that was wasting money running things. But when we really want to waste money, we build things. And there are two ways that we're wasting money building things. One is we're building things that the users don't need. So we had that all the time in old-fashioned waterfall development. We would write binders and binders of requirements, and we would go and build for a year or two, and then we'd come back to the business. They would say, no, that's not what we need. So we went to Agile. But if it's only the IT organizations that's Agile, then what happens is that we run our sprints, and every 2 weeks we have a demonstration of the features that we built in the sprint. And the business just can't be bothered to show up. So if the IT organization is Agile, but the business is thinking in waterfall terms, we have these requirements and we want that in 6 months, then they're not going to be showing up for the demonstrations. Which means that your Agile team is going to be represented by the product owner on the team. And the product owner in way too many agile teams, that's the least productive developer who's gotten a 3-day product owner course and now fills that role. And that's not the way that to build good IT systems with agile. So unless you have the business be part of the agile and really buy into the agile, then the fact that you're running agile in the IT organization does not prevent waste. And then finally, the really big place where we waste money, we build it ourselves. Now, unnecessarily building stuff for ourselves instead of buying it off the shelf is the number one place where we waste money. You see, we've had every industrialized country in the world has now built a coronavirus tracking app. Now, none of them work, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about every country building its own, instead of somebody getting together and building one. The job of tracking coronavirus in France or in Germany or in Denmark isn't really that different. But no, everybody needs to build their own. That happens in commercial organizations as well. IT organizations like to build things. They don't like to buy things. When we build things, we have full control. And we know the business is going to come and want changes. They want this, they want that, they want something else. If we've bought a standard system, then we might have to tell them, can't be done. There is no way the system can be changed to accommodate that. But if we build it ourselves, we can always say, yes, it can be done. It can be done. Just give us, unlimited time and money. We can make it do anything we want. That's why IT organizations like to build things. But IT leadership needs to look at what is the benefit of the system. Now, if it's a system of innovation, of differentiation, of disruption, where you can really make a difference, where this is something that changes the way you do business, where you can do something new that none of your competitors can do, by all means, build it yourself. Because if it's new, you can't buy it off the shelf. But if it's not new, then buy it. Your CRM system doesn't have to be built from scratch. Your customers are not that different from other people's customers. There's basic stuff that we store about a customer. Your accounts are not that different from other people's accounts. That's why you can run a standard accounting system. And you don't need to build your own custom accounting system just because you have some fancy way of invoicing. Maybe the business benefit of your fancy way of invoicing is this small compared to the massive cost of building it yourself. So what you need to do to really stop wasting money is to stop unnecessarily building stuff yourself. Thank you for watching Beneficial Intelligence, a weekly podcast with stories and pragmatic information for CIOs and other IT leaders. If you like this content, please spread the word. If you have comments, please get in touch. See you next week.